Hello, welcome back to this channel or welcome to this channel. My name is Jackie and I'm a journal and planner addict. And today I have a different type of video for you guys because it's that time of the year where I just can't stop thinking about using my 2020 journals and planners, and I also feel guilty about actually starting using them. But this year, I kind of figure out a way for me to play around with these journals and planners and to start using a couple of them without feeling guilty and without spoiling them for next year. So this is going to be a chatty video. That's why I have my coffee here with me. So if you are not into that, feel free to come later on because I will have other types of videos. But if you want to see some tips and tricks to deal with this anxiety about starting your new planners and some ways to cheat that and start using them right away, just keep watching. Cheers! Okay, so your things arrived, and what will you do? You will take them off, you will do an unboxing, or you will take pictures, and then what do? Do you put everything back in a box, item by item, and just look at them when the next year arrived, or at least by the end of December? What do you do? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips for you to deal with that. So let's start. The first tip I have is for you to set your planner up because that's fun. It's a way for you to spend time with your new planner or journal and play around with it without actually start using it. So you can pick a cover, and that can be fun because sometimes you already bought a cover thinking about using next year, but sometimes you start using it right away, or you didn't buy a cover and you want to choose from your collection. So that's a fun part. So enjoy every bit of it. Go through your covers. Think about what you are going to do in the beginning of the year. Think about your New Year's resolutions. If you have them or if you believe in them, then you can add pockets as in the weeks, or I even had an extra one and I added to my A6. Then you can add accessories to your pockets and to your planner. You can add some pencil boards. You can make your own with a laminator perhaps, or you can add paper clips and planner clips and all that fun stuff that you are not using your planner. You are just preparing it to be used. Another tip that I really enjoy is deciding how you are going to set up your planner. So the way I enjoy doing it is, first I will do a list of things and topics and collections that I really want to have in my Hobonichi weeks, which is my personal planner, and I do this kind of a bullet journal style. So I start planning for it first. I start making a list of everything I want to be there, and then I just take some post-its that I have laying around because we all have a lot of post-its, and I just start adding post-its with the topics I want to be and where I want them to be, so I can visualize and calculate how many pages I will need for a specific thing. For example, books I want to read or movies I want to watch, and movies I actually end up watching at the end of the year. So I find it easier to prepare this if you are indeed doing it with post-its and already kind of saving those pages. So even if you are not going to prepare that page right away, if you are going to wait more, but you at least know what you want to do with that, and it's easier later on for you to start planning, and you won't make mistakes of leaving less pages than you want. So I think that's a really good tip, and I do that with all of my planners. So tip number 2 is add dates that are not going to change or are more less likely to change. So for example, I just add birthdays on my weeks, so I will just open up my list of birthdays from friends and family, and I will start adding that to my monthly view. And that's really fun because now I'm actually using the planner, but that's something I just enjoy doing beforehand, so I won't miss anybody's birthdays. So I would just do that, and maybe I can add some colorful pens, or I can use some stickers because I have a lot of birthday stickers that I need to use. So just put it some dates. Maybe you have a trip coming up that you already bought the ticket, so that's less likely to change. So you can just go and add that into your planner, and that's a fun way to start decorating and using, and that works for both decorative and pretty planners and functional planners as well. Now, my third tip to start using your planner right away is to prep your months, and I do this a lot. So there was a time when I used it to wait until the end of a month to prepare for the next one, but I realized I was always missing opportunity to use all of my stuff, so I decided to change that a little bit. So I'm not completely decorating my monthly views, but I'm just starting. And that's fun because then when the month arrives, I can complete with other stickers or things that I bought thinking about that, specifically about that month, but I already have something. And then if I'm having a really busy month, it won't be boring and blank. I will already have something. My fourth tip for you is to start using and playing around with exceeding pages on your planner or journal. So for example, with the Hobonichi, we always get some extra months. So for example, in the original version, we always have I think January, February, and March of 2021. So it's a long way to go, and by that time you will probably have another planning going on. So I started using them for different things. So for example, here I decided to use some of my exceeding stickers from an Erin Condren book that I was not going to use anyway else, so I just thought it was really fun to have these foiled stickers in here for February 2021. And for March I decided to do a watercolor spread. How do you call these? Swatches, that's the word. But another thing you can do is you can, those Japanese pages that you are not going to use unless you know Japanese, that's not my case, unfortunately. I just color them. Sometimes I will add some stamps and some washi tape, and I just think it's fun, and some quotes. In this case I added some quotes as well. And then these pages where they just had like a lot of Japanese information, I started adding some photos that I printed with my HP Sprocket, and I think it's fun. These are my cats. How cute! And I also started coloring this page as well with some washi tape. So I think that's also a great idea and a great way for you to use those pages that you are not going to use, and that way you can play around and start playing with your journal before the year starts. Now my final tip, and the fifth one, is to leave messages to your future self. And I love this. I know it sounds silly. Believe me, I always thought that sounded really silly, and I hesitated a little bit, but then One day I was really anxious about a trip that I was going to do a week later, and I decided to go to that day on my planner and leave a little note there for me, like, you've got this, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. And then I totally forgot about it. And then one day before, when I was really freaking out about that trip I was going to make, I just saw that message and it made me really happy. So now what I do is I will open in a random page in my Hobonichi, and I only do that on my journal, and I will write a quote or a message or something for my future self. And this is super fun to do before the start of the year, because that way you will forget about it, and then when you find a page that has that message, it's like winning the lottery. It's really fun. Now I have two bonus tips that are actually ways to cheat and start using your planner or journal right away. Okay, so the first bonus tip is, if you go to January 2021 of your new planner, and then if you compare it with November of the current year 2019, you will see that the dates coincide, in the sense that the 1st of November was in a Friday and the 2nd a Saturday, and so on and so forth. Of course, January you have 31 days and November you only have 30. But I decided to use that and adapt the January calendar of the 2020 Hobonichi original to create my own November 2019, so I could start using my monthly view right away. So here it is, and I will zoom you in a little bit, just a little bit, so you can see it better. So I just covered where it said January, as you can see here, and where it said 2021, and then I just covered the number 1 with 2 stickers to represent 11, which is November, and I also covered right here that 31st day, because November only have 30 days, and that's it. Voila! Now the second extra or bonus tip is to use your note pages as a kind of bullet journal to start doing your journaling. So that was what I did. So I never use the note pages of my journal in the original size, the A6 size, and I'm always a little bit upset about it. But now, ta-da, I decided to transform it in a kind of weekly spread in a journal style. So this was for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November, and I just went all in, and it was really fun preparing these pages. And here you have this week, which is my birthday week, and I will just do a journal for the whole week. And the way I did that is just I counted all the weeks up until the Christmas week, and I decided to start on the 1st of November. But as you can see, then I will go to the graph pages, the timetable pages and the graph pages, which you can see here. That will be my Christmas spread. But I don't mind that, because I do not use the timetable or the graph paper anyhow. And of course, I can just cover it with scrapbook paper and stickers, and the way I usually do my journaling. But if you start this week or next week, you won't have to go to these pages if you indeed use them. You will just use all of your notes pages. And you might be calculating that I will miss a couple of days from the 29th of December up until the 31st. And that's like a bonus tip of how you can start using your Hobonichi. And that's just because I decided to transform those first pages that turning the page to a new year and the January page into daily entries for my journal. And that's because on the 29th, we are planning to go to Disneyland Paris. And I decided that I'm just like, it will be a dream come true. So I just want to start my year that day and not on January 1st as everybody else. So that's what I did. I just added like some stickers, number stickers, to mark down the date. And here on the first, the January page, I just covered the one with a one sticker and added the third and the three sticker, the sticker of the number 3. And then I will cover, of course, the January. And this made sense for me, especially these 2 pages, because for me it's really strange to start a planner on the 1st of January, because the 1st of January I'm usually just eating and lying on the couch all day long. So not much happens, so it's always a little bit strange. So I always end up journaling about the 31st, the New Year's Eve. So now I can have both spreads together, and I think that's really fun and really nice. So there you have it. Those are my tips and tricks to start using your planner right away. Let me know if you have any others, or if you have the patience to wait until the right time to use your planners. But I just want you to know that there is no right time. I mean, the right time is when you want it. If you want to start using right now, go ahead and start it. If you want to wait, good for you. I mean, we can make it work any way we choose, and that's the beauty of the planning community. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and thank you so much for your patience, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.